Okay, there we go. Going. Chat that is. Oh, running. Question. Okay. Okay, so it is Monday. It is time once again to play some Doom. So I have actually been playing this. I played a little bit of it over the last couple of days just to try and sort of get into it again, but still a little sort of middle ground. But I'm going to try and push through because I do kind of want to see where this game is going, and seeing just how much the Doomslayer can remain a passive protagonist in his own game. So, all right. So hopefully, let's go for at least 2 or 3 hours. Try and get through a good chunk more of the game. Running. And we'll see where we get to, because I got stuck, annoyingly, the other day when I was playing it. What is that? So, hopefully we'll see. I just got stuck in one small area of a fight that I couldn't actually seem to win. It was very annoying. Flip it on over. I don't know. Jesus. Definitely turned it down more from last time because it didn't blow out my eardrums. Frames fine, bitrate's fine. Continually surprised that my internet connection actually can manage to stream anything. Carefully mess with my wires. So, and Siege Part 1. Let's see if we can get further. So, not much actually had happened from where we left off to where I stopped. I literally couldn't tell you anything that happened, other than demons are attacking, and that is about it, which is sadly so much of this game. And it's smash. Just turn the sound down again there. I turned it up a little bit when I was playing it without my headphones on, but obviously it's still, he's actually surprising at that. Right, so the thing I kept getting stuck on though, playing it the other day, so try and continue to get a bit more of a feel for the game, is just around here. So it's basically this little section. Essentially the issue is it's just you just have to kill enemies to then kill the leader. Still the issue of getting like surrounded and hit from multiple sides. That has been my issue. This spear gun thing has a hell of a drop on it, so I'm just trying to hit that. Nope, I'm not even sure who I hit. Oh, I think we didn't have that last time as well. I got a mace now. Feel like that wasn't something I got last time. Something on my left. Oh yeah, this big fucker. Run away. Right, so this bigger demon, problem with him is he will just unload into me with a chain gun. Yeah, this is the same issue I kept having. I need to back up. I need to try and find some health. A lot of health. Nope. Okay, some health. It's the leader I can't kill yet. Take care of Rankus. Health right there. What? Huh. It's that chain gun attack. That really just decimates me every time. Steal it. I will say, I've got to love how much my headphones are helping with the sort of surround sound. What is... Honestly, couldn't tell you got that close to me. Let's just take you out. Ooh, more health. Go. Okay. Look at that guy down. That's good, because I was struggling on doing that last time. It's probably having them actually backing off quite a bit. Switch that for the super. Block. There's still something fun about hitting them in the head with that. Him and... Nope, I got caught on the wall. Caught on the wall. Caught on the wall. Grab health, grab health, grab health. Keep double tapping my shields so it's... Hey, Magic Buns. Keep moving, keep bouncing, keep jumping up there. It's even a small amount of health to use. Oh, son. What even? Spectres as well? Oh, it's a new one. Okay. Given I was just able to take down the giant demon that was killing me constantly last time, that's not too bad. A little bit of armor. Them. I don't end up on the Impaler. both of Incubus on there. Tall and irritating in the fields. It's good. Okay. Okay, let's take a minute. This is good. Don't need the super shotgun now. Really do have to try and title the fodder enemies more just so I can get health back. Now, but that cyber demon is running around. I swear sometimes with this game I have no idea what's happening. I'm just running on a level of instinct. The instinct is not good. It's so caught up in all of it. It's gonna start losing track. What else in here? Now we can take down that wicked demon pretty easily. That's one gone. Excuse me, I don't know. Let's make it 2. Gonna run away. Pulverizer. Good. Gotta admit, actually, Pulverizer might be the best idea for a lot of enemies. Might be, I mean, is the weapon I should have been using. Whoa. Also, I really don't know who I'm getting shot at by. Right, he's dead. That's good. Oh. Run away because the other one's coming at me. Resist. Shields. Okay, just gotta deal. Cyber Demon. Yep, it's good timing. Huh. Did not realise those barriers actually block my shield. That's useful information. I'm getting this. Just need. Well, I keep doing it as I'm doing it. It should be fine. And that is fun every time. Just need first. You. Let's carry you. There you have a look. Something on the left. Got away. They're playing Doom become like playing Siege. I have not played Siege in a while. You son of a... What if the fodder enemies basically down Mr. Presidented for that right team? Shield block. Run away. Fodder. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, All Mights should be next on my list. Is almost there. We go. Shield disabled. Grab that. Let's go you. There we go. Crime. Okay, but that explains why it was taking so long. Okay, that's to incorporate Halo strategy there of just constantly jumping. See down. Alright. And then it's just the background set. Oh, right, directly behind the multiples. Makes sense. Remember there, but I need to go that way. Going this way, I guess. I don't quite know if I'm walking towards where there's more. Oh yeah, there's more enemies. Okay, thank you, imps, for answering my question. I don't know if they're promoting Doom at the moment, but it wouldn't be too surprising if they were. Backing. Accelerator. Whoa. Okay, let's just... There's an upgrade that lowers recoil on the accelerator. I would be really happy because the gun does not like being fired over a long period of time. That was awesome. Where have those glory kills been? I think I'll change shotgun. Hammering in. the opposite way. That's interesting. Yeah, it's just some armor and ammo. Jumped off the cliff too early. Long way round. Very annoying. Okay, I really tried to make that look cool and I failed it. Come on, cannon. Come on. Oh. We'll come back to the shrine in a minute. Turn back up. Let's grab the collectible. I don't think, did Funko Pops do any Doom figures? And they probably did, I just haven't gotten any. Double spreads reduce maximum charge. Yes. Increase reload speed for the super shotgun? Yes, please. Turn around first because it looks like there's a secret hidden off in this corner. Oh, it's the tentacles here. Whoa! Whoa! That's a big tentacle. I definitely don't wish to deal with that tentacle. And there it is. Okay. Probably means I should be careful because there's one giant tentacle monster here. That means there's probably going to be more somewhere. I love when you can literally walk backwards into a whole bunch of enemies and not even realise. Okay, that's what I need. Okay, there's another one of those big demons around here somewhere. Okay, so there's the big demon. Okay, I'm definitely getting better at taking those out. Okay, careful these out. Whoa. It's become like ADHD the game. That is the boss. There it is. I am on close to no health. Okay, definitely do something. No, he's chasing me. He's chasing me. You were not who I thought was chasing me. You will do. Rider down. And that takes them out. Okay. Let's see anything. Yeah, some secrets on the far side. Okay, I'll look at those in a minute. You really thought he was going to fire at me there for a second? I just didn't. Wait. Jesus Christ, this giant fucking thing again. Okay, no, it can die. It definitely does. I think it's a bit of an interesting question when you start comparing sort of modern games and older games in that sort of regard. Because there are like older games I could go back to and play and enjoy just as much as I do stuff now. Do I get it? A second. Ah. Turn around and grab this gun first. Get down the rest of this area first. Yes. It's this hole. So many questions. Anything else? This area. It feels like there's a lot of central space that I really didn't explore. Vertex page all the way. If any one of you thinks I was going to let you start attacking me, you're so misty. Let's go accelerate. Actually worried how the game footage is looking. At least on the OBS preview, it looks okay. I was watching someone else playing this, and they were having issues with rendering and going at the same time. The screen that shows me what I'm streaming, essentially. So I use the OBS software. I never really got into Civ. There's a series that there's one of them I did. Which is this, but it's the sort of like severely dumbed down version of Civilization, which is Civ Rev that came out, Civilization Revolution that came on the Xbox 360. Yeah, OBS is it's one of many programs you can use to stream. So it's the one I use. But someone who I was watching the other day had an issue where basically the game it was running at like half the frame rate. It just looked awful, and he didn't understand why. But mine looks okay. So I wonder if it's because I'm grabbing it directly from the monitor. No. There's the issue with OBS and streaming. You never quite know how things are going to end up shaping it. Well, if you're hiring voice actors and stuff, they, especially more like professional ones, they will usually have their own setups. Like this is a setup you'd kind of expect like any sort of voice actor to have, to at least to some small degree. But yeah, there probably is some information you probably would need to know though for making sure everything does sound good. Alright, let's go for I'm gonna stay away from those because I imagine too close to the burn me. Yeah, I can see that. Sort of having a good understanding of how things work, but I mean, there's always a question of how much you need to know, I guess. There's the Hell Knight. Yeah, I only know myself. It's a piece about sort of voice acting. It's probably been from like half from the amount of stuff that I watch, partly from listening to voice actors talking about the professions, stuff like that. Yeah, the microphone I'm using now has, I think, 2 filters put onto it from OBS to help kill some of the background noise that you would hear otherwise. Didn't I do that? What I'm trying to do is get up top there. So I can actually run around. It's actually coming back down. Oh, of course. Alright. Jump. I should be able to get back across. Yep. Oh yeah. That. It's a few days since I've played. Remembering some things. I wouldn't use it for a little bit.
Hellgate's eliminated.
The turrets are back online. Get the transports ready to launch.
We're beginning to evacuate civilians now. Thank you, Slayer.
I need to run. I'll look about there. Let's make a detour though. Grab that codex page before we. Oh, what sweet merciful hell. One thing I do wish they'd put into this game is the ability to actually change your weapon while you've got your shield up. Because they don't actually have that as a thing you can do. It's very annoying. I'll fly back with the map. Just get single collector. Actually, it's not fast travel. No, I think someone said something about fast travel, but I don't know. Sure what. Up on this ledge. There's the scramble spot. Or do I need to jump across? It's looking. I would assume jumps from the side. There's a whole thing down here. Yep. I should have would have jumped. Okay. Fully ready for that to be far more complicated. Oh, there's something. Well, okay. Let's see. Honestly, what are you expecting? this first. Let's see if what's down there's actually of use, which doesn't look it. Looks like ammo and ammo and stuff. And so, not entirely sure how I can get to this. It doesn't look like I should just be able to run and jump, but yeah, try. I was gonna be so annoyed if that happened. If I'd have fallen at the last second. Okay. Let's turn around back up to the right. Yep. Try to... Oh. Shh. Okay, I meant to block and then to fire. Secret, I need a key. Annoying. I actually know the answer to that question. So, according to Steam, at the very least, my most played game has been the D&D Idle free-to-play game. That is technically my most played game. I think, if I then remember correctly, the next most played game, I think, is Stellaris. But I would, let's just say a lot. A lot for the D&D Idle game. I think it's like, I think it says it as like 5,000. That is because it's one of those games where you can just keep playing it and keep running it, and I think once or twice I left it overnight. It's pretty sure it's like 5,000, if I remember correctly. I would have to double check. And then in comparison, I think Stellaris, I think is like a fraction of that, if I remember correctly. I'd have to have a look. I can't off the top of my head remember the actual answer. I do remember though getting Stellaris, getting all of the DLC for it, because someone introduced me to playing it, and I basically just went full bore into playing it. That also was at a time when I had nothing else going on, so it was very easy to rack up hours in a game that takes ages and ages. Yeah, so what's described as a 4X strategy. So you've got resources to manage, population, military. It's a really, really, really fun game. But it is very long and complicated to a degree. Yeah, it was funny actually because the first time I played it, I just got like dropped into a game that the people I was playing with had running. So I ended up taking over an AI civilization, some race that was already in existence. And they were actually surprised that I was able to balance out the civilization correctly, because it's basically the AI doesn't play correctly, like it doesn't do as players would do. But it did help that I was somewhat used to playing a fair few of those style of games. I mean, I grew up on stuff like Age of Empires and things like that. Like it was second nature. Yeah, it wasn't so much like buffs to the AI. It was if you basically, it was if I took over the I think it was a machine race, and essentially their resources were so unbalanced that I think it was like the energy consumption was like through the roof. So I basically had to go in there and start just tinkering with it and changing things around. But it really wasn't anything that new from the sort of things, the similar games that I'd played. Yeah, keep going straight. Here, drop down to yeah, I've not played it in a little while actually. I know there was an update recently that apparently didn't go too well, and I know they added a bunch of some more additional content. I forget, how do I get out of here now? Yeah, there's quite a few little like bits and pieces of stuff you can add on Twitch. There's because there's obviously stuff like when people have subscribed, you can add things to their names, stuff like that. But I'm still a long way from that happening. Gotta look. There's gotta be. Oh. That's what the secret key would be. Let's literally turn to my right on this path. I would know there's the only watching, only listening badges. They don't at least appear to show up in the chat for me. So I don't know if it's whether you've still activated or not. The Tiny Doomslayer. Where was the other secret? Take that. is useful because I think the shotgun needed 2 rubies for its next upgrade. Did wonder about going on somewhat of a rant about the new Doctor Who episode from on Saturday, but I don't know if it's so much just something interesting or it's just me being like, what are they doing? I do hope the finale is going to be good though, because they do seem to be teeing it up to something interesting at least. Doctor Who. I always wonder how much of my voice actually getting through. Let's look. Because the new season, they've just it does seem interesting that they're doing the thing again of like bringing back another sort of major villain from the original series. They weren't really much of a major villain. Don't know whether the new season's really been that good overall. Some of it has been. Some of it's been really, really good, but then it's just I don't know. I think the issue is that it feels like they can't trust their audience. It feels like they have to spell out anything, even when they're doing sort of social commentary. And it's like, you just trust your audience that they will actually know what you're talking about. It's perfectly fine. I have all secrets. That's fine. The only things I don't have would be possibly another ruby around somewhere. Oh, something back there then. There's something I didn't pick up. There's some. No, that was where I got the. It's oddly uncharging. It's funny how they very easy segue in regards to Doctor Who and then talking about trying to find a ruby, because yeah, that reveal last season was so bad. Anya was leaving, they set her up to something important, and then they basically went, oh, no, she's not. And it made no sense. The ridiculous gripe though that I had with the episode from this weekend, it was just that the context of the episode didn't make sense in connection with the context of the series, like the current series. Because in the current series, the idea is that Earth has been destroyed shortly after they sort of left in the first episode, and they've only just discovered that. But if that was true, was there an entire space station hosting a version of the Eurovision Song Contest? So with all this information, they couldn't possibly have gotten if the Earth was destroyed. But it is definitely one of those moments where I go, yeah, I'm just analysing something way too much. How there being still alive tanks is telling me that I've not been here yet. Let's take out of these things. Yeah, I mean the show as a whole makes perfect sense. It's more just that the the story that they're telling over the course of the season doesn't make sense in conjunction with the episode, the content of it, which is what the actual issue is. If it wasn't in that season, if it had been in a different season, it would be perfectly fine. The issue is that it doesn't know how to work. Yeah, I know of Battlestar Galactica. I know that one. It's because that's the Cylons, I think, isn't it? Battlestar Galactica. No, it's just, I mean, that and Star Trek and stuff, just, I've never watched to a huge degree. Like, I have watched, is it, I think it was, is it Next Generation? That's Patrick Stewart? Yeah, if it's, yeah, Patrick Stewart's Next Gen, yeah. That one I have watched in its entirety because I just ended up going through it all on Netflix for some strange reason. It's probably partly through sort of having seen so much of Patrick Stewart in so many other shows and things like that, that I just went, I'll see the show that kind of made him well known within sort of nerddom. Even some of that series has some lots of clunkers of episodes, which even the cast will attest to. But that's what happens with any show. You keep going, and some episodes will be good, some episodes will be bad. You never quite know how things will turn out. Yeah, the one that springs to mind though from that series, and the one that I know then even the cast have made fun of, is the episode where I can't think of what her name is. It's Wesley Crusher's mum. It's where she ends up falling in love with, as she put it, a candle. Yeah, it's the I can't think of what the character's name is. I can remember the last name. Yeah, it's just and it's her describing it like that. It's like, yeah, that was what that episode was. Her falling in love with a candle. Yeah, I know that the reception to his character was a bit much, I think. Yeah, that was it was the sort of some sort of, it was, I forget what the idea of it actually was, but I just know that is essentially, like, if you were summarizing it, that's what it was. Do I break this? Yeah, I don't think I've really ever paid attention to it enough to. It's funny though, actually. I always say this, I always realize after, it's like, I never really ended up being like deep into a fandom. Like, it's just never been a thing for me. I don't know how to explain it, but I've never gotten so deep into something that it's like it angers me and stuff like that. Into focus. I would think it was like the only thing where I probably got close to some of that would have been, but this is a long while ago, like back in the day when the animated show Code Lyoko existed. Even then, it wasn't so like to a degree that some people take it and then make it their entire personalities. something. So, guessing there's other statues around. That's what I gotta deal with. Ah. Of course, if in doubt, break with shield.
Seismic activity detected near the wall.
Oh, where's the third statue? Taking that. I did find it interesting in Next Generation that they introduced a subplot of Worf gaining a son through adoption, and then they just completely write that child out of the show, and then they just have him get a son again and make no mention of the child he had through adoption. It's just like, say what? It's not the first time a show has done that either, that they've just written a character out and just never then reference them again. I mean, funnily enough, one of my, well, it's actually two of my favorite shows, like quite heavily favorite shows, have that same issue where they sort of introduce either a character or a plot line and then they just drop it and no one mentions it. And funnily enough, they're both made by Aaron Sorkin. He's the one who popularized the term Mandy Space. So that's what happened to a character in the first episode of in the first season of The West Wing. Introduced the character, she was there for the first season, and she was never spoken of again. Then in the newsroom, they had an entire plot line that existed, was the cliffhanger at the end of the first season, and then they never mentioned it again. And there is just something funny about the fact that Aaron Sorkin just constantly does that. Yeah. Somehow I don't see this going well. Nope. No, I mean, the funny thing was I don't think it was even like an unpopular character. Like not for the Mandy thing. I think it was just the character didn't have much to do. I forget what her role was within the show, within the president's staff. It was just that. I think it was just she didn't have anything to do. Although, I still don't know why it does that. Funnily enough, though, there's an interesting thing to it that I noticed with the show Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where they constantly in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, in the original series, would just drop characters entirely. And I was looking into it later on and discovered that part of the reason they did that is because those characters would actually still be under rights of the writers who created them, and thus they would have to pay them. Thus, they didn't want to do that. There's one thing that can be said about Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It was definitely done on the cheap. Yeah, by the final season of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, it was not expensive stuff, I can tell you that. There was definitely a drop off in the production budget, which maybe wouldn't have happened if they had stopped fucking with the characters. That kind of... Yeah, there's definitely like an interesting thing that could be done to talk about Sabrina the Teenage Witch as a whole, because some of the background stuff on that is just it's an interesting mix. There's some of it's terrible choices done by producers and by the writers. Some of it's them wildly not understanding their own audience. There's also much production hell. It was just, they just kept making stupid choices. Like, the character of Harvey in the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch, they wrote him out in season 4, I want to say, and there was basically a huge backlash to that, and so because of it, in the next season they brought him back. But it just showed how little they understood their own show, essentially, at that point. I was really hoping that bolt would fire before he attacked. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, he's iconic to the show, but they basically decided that he wouldn't, I think their reasoning was that he wouldn't fit in with the sort of the shift to Sabrina being at college. So instead of saying, oh, well, you know, why don't we have an arc for him and deal with that, they decided, no, we'll just remove him from the show. Which was a stupid, stupid idea. And what's great is, it results in numerous ridiculous plot holes that crop up later on. Because in season 6, this does show how much I've watched the show that I can remember all of these details. In season 6, they introduced this idea that if a witch is essentially loses their sort of their true love, they will literally fall to pieces. And yet, when Harvey leaves Sabrina, that doesn't happen. Despite the fact, as the show will later go and say, no, they are their own one true loves. But what's even stupider with that, okay. What's even then stupider with the show is that in season 7, they have this whole plot line and Sabrina questioning if the person she's intending to marry is her one true love. But she already knows the answer to that, because when she fell to pieces at the end of season 6, she didn't even know the person yet. The other two people who it could possibly be, she has never interacts with again. So I could go. I keep saying that I should make a video talking about Sabrina, but I really just can't pull my sort of shit together to actually get that done. There is stuff to talk about with it. It is a mess. Yeah. It's just the same issue I just keep having. Like, any enthusiasm for actually writing and getting stuff done. It definitely would make an interesting video, I feel like, just because the number of characters that the show unceremoniously drops and the plot lines that get dropped and
They're coming for the heart.
ideas that
Away from the lifeboats.
get sort of like brought up and added to the show's continuity with
Commander, he signed
no
off.
interest at all at the end of it. There's a concept of witch hunters that appears sometime in like season 3. And it's an idea that is never spoken of again. It's barely even spoken of in the actual season it's introduced. Yeah, it's a hilarious mess of a show when you actually start looking at it. There's got to be a way to get up there. I just don't know how. Try leaping at it. Sometimes the simplest way is the best way. Forgot to run forwards. Needs to be there anyway. Oh look, another new enemy. He fires green shots at me and I have to knock them back. We haven't seen that before. Solidly kind of pleased with myself there that I was able to use charge attack to slam into one enemy so I could get close to finish the other. That's good combat. Yeah, well, I mean, Doom has always been a game of running and shooting stuff. So. But yeah, it does feel like the execution's been kind of like toned down or just minimized to a degree. Which is the issue. Is that back of a chair? Okay, that looks like I need to climb up first. I mean, it's interesting because if I jump at certain enemies, it gives of like a much more classic style of execution, but it does seem like they've kind of held back otherwise. Movement's still a bit floaty. I mean, you're a one-man demon killing army. You don't really need much more to make you feel like a badass. I probably do, because I'm a long way from badass. Although, funnily enough, just thinking about it, it does feel very like the game Destiny to a degree. Don't know why, but that's just where my brain goes. Let's try to see if I can do the same trick again. Oh yeah, drop down, follow its cross. Destiny is definitely one of those games that I kind of wish I hadn't fallen off playing, but at the same time, just I did not have a group of people to play Destiny with. I have no idea what's going on with you. Yeah, well, they do flinch in a way by when it goes to that purple finishing. But I mean, there was still that same issue with the big enemy just before, where it was just sort of like lay into him with gunfire and wait for the damage. You son of a bitch! There has there been an enemy I wish I could kill twice for trying to do a bloody jump scare on me. Clever then. Oh my god, being able to do the execution when I do the parry, but that requires me to be within range. That. Yeah, it was more the claw attack that caught me by surprise. Not gotten good at blocking that one yet. Just been my problem. Yep, just got it. What's the Revenant to come back? Come. No running, Mr. Revenant. It's time for you to die. Yep. Him. Take him out. Move away because I'm getting slaughtered. Wow, I actually escaped with minimal health. Yep, there we go. Yeah, those sneak attack ones are just these exact enemies. They just don't tend to use that attack as often because usually I'm staying away from them. Yeah, hour 30 in before we got our first bot. Well, that's a new one. Taking this sweet old time now. wonder if anyone actually does pay for viewers. Because even if I did, even if I paid for viewers, I'm not actually sure that would even get me to the affiliate stuff where I actually could potentially make money. Yeah, I know people do stuff like that, which is the way you read those stories, people complaining, saying like, I paid for these bots, but why is my page not getting popular? It's going because it's lack of engagement. You can look popular, but if no one's actually engaging with it, that's the problem. And do we even get up there? Yeah, I mean, that is the issue with any sort of thing where they're trying to sell you stuff to that other people work for. Right, and I failed. Well, thank you. It's onto one target, I went for the other. So it's what? Yeah, I did fully enough. I noticed that obviously on my activity feed it tells me obviously if someone's followed, and the person who popped in on Thursday and was trying to get me to go to the to link to the Discord stuff, it now shows as unknown user. I'm guessing they closed down that fake account. Okay, alright. Gotta admit, would have thought for a second that might have been more of a difficult fight, but I guess I've actually gotten a little calm and practiced. Good, yeah, an hour and a half. Okay. No, I need the key down so before I can do anything. Huh. Just gonna back up. Now that's what we call cheesing it. Shot him from the doorway. Just didn't react. Upstairs we go. Shh. These little shits again. Okay, yeah, actually, if you switch to the full shot mode of this gun, its recoil does drastically lower. That's a good thought to keep in mind. Okay, there is the secret key. Looks like either I can go to the right, or maybe it's a jump across. Yeah, it's jump across. Keep trying. Yeah, it's the secret area to get across the other bit. That's good. Caught you that time, you little shit. Saw the telltale shimmer just before it managed to try and attack me. Hitting me, game. Dropping me in a tiny ass room with a. Yeah, the other secret doors were to the side. Those have been bugging me all day. I really don't know what's happening. Yep, that was the only secret I need to find. Just grab an extra gold in the back corner. Yep. But this other secret that I didn't notice whatsoever. I have many questions, game, about what threat Mancubus was supposed to be in that tiny, tiny area. That's good. Goes right back around and allows us to get right back up to where I was. There's some nice games to say. Behind me or what? What? Expect that. Why is there always just someone who's somehow survived and is sneaking up behind me? That they can split. Okay. I broke that and it led to nothing, or I broke that and it opened something up. Okay, really have no idea what to tap.
The final transports are ready to launch.
Yep, looks like we got everything in this area, so that's good. I almost made all of that look very intentional. Sneak up there, that's at the back, so I want to head as far back on the map. West. So currently going to try and rescue the king who we've seen in the cutscenes. Although for the most part, I mean, your guess is as good as mine to a degree, because I've been tuning out a lot of the sort of like plot and just focusing on the lots of destruction.
Detected.
I really do not see that coming. It is funny every time. That did something. So.
are in effect. Please clear the hangar immediately.
There's a lot of bad guys. Okay, let's switch to the cycle up. Okay, they're really loving this one particular enemy type for this one. Okay, really gonna use to killing him. So that's good. God, this Hell Knight's looking like when I've finished eating wings. They've died. Yeah, that's surprising. There we go.
Several demonic signals are moving to King Novik's position. It's Azric. Slayer. You have to help him.
I'm still right now that the Slayer has absolutely no idea who Azric is because, well, they've literally never shown us learning that information. At the end of every fight, he's on the Maker ship, so when would he learn that information?
The last flight crew has been evacuated.
Okay, that's exit level. Let's check back here. Nope, just random boxes. Okay, interesting. Yes! Increased damage to armor is always useful. No, was... Oh, no, we already upgraded the Pulverizer. Shredder plus pincushion. Okay. So I'll take both. Registries and shut. Yes. So that's the thing that's been causing me all kinds of issues. He plus. Okay. It's good. There's a few of our weapons actually much more heavily upgraded.
No more tricks, old king.
Okay, apparently that shield is just Swiss Army knife for the Doomslayer. Don't think what you're doing is working. It looks like it's just pissing him off. There's the inside of that amulet look like the Demigorgon.
Tell me where it is. Run.
I gotta admit, you get thrown off the side of a building only to return in a giant robot. That is pretty cool. Many questions, but still pretty cool. Still no idea why it always goes back here, so continuing, it's very strange. Right, well, we are close to hitting 2 hours. I think I'll stop for now, just due to the fact obviously we're at the end of that level as well, and it's taken us 2 hours just to get through the second half, well, the one half of one level and then the entire other section. So yeah. So I will be back on Thursday, because what I'm trying to probably do is just do Monday and Thursday. And just keep that sort of going. At least try and maybe get sort of a baseline of other people as well coming in. Things like that. See if we can't get to the affiliate status, because that'd be pretty fun if we could do that. But yeah. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday, possibly for more of this. I might move on to something else. Actually, I do have stuff like RoboCop that I want to play. Could go and play the original Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, because I never did finish Doom Eternal. But we'll see where we are on Thursday. But yeah. So, have a good rest of the day or night, depending on where you are, because it's 11 o'clock where I am. And I will see you Thursday. I'm not well with the music.